What improved your life so much, you wished you did sooner? I stopped living my life just waiting for the weekend. When you work 5 days a week and have just 2 off, it's not good to be always waiting for those 2 days. You can plan something meaningful or fun every day, even if it's just a small thing. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the awards. I'm glad others have found this comment helpful. This is a good one, but hard to do for some people. I'm up at 4:30 a.m. to get ready for work and don't get home till 6 p.m. That gives me 3-ish hours to eat dinner, shower and unwind before I need to go to bed. Unfortunately, I spend my entire week looking forward to the weekend. This is actually a life hack. Trust me, life is a marathon, not a sprint, and you must find a way to enjoy every day. At the end of the day, you should say it was a great day or day well spent. I had someone tell me, life is a marathon, not a sprint, but the better advice I got was, life is not a race at all. It's more like river rafting, and the point is that you're there with people you love spending time with and you're enjoying your surroundings together. Of course, there's rapids sometimes and still waters sometimes, and usually you know where you're going to end up, but it's about the experience, not the destination. Just packed up and moved thousands of miles away. Left everything behind and just started over. Besides some debt, a suitcase, and contacts for only the non-toxic people in my life, it's been an extremely liberating experience. And looking back, nothing was really preventing me from doing it sooner, no real reasons at least. I just kept coming up with excuses not to do it until one day I couldn't think of one. Not everyone can afford this, but moving closer to work. My commute went from 45 miserable min traffic glaring in hatred at the tail lights in front of me to a pleasant 15-minute bike ride. I got an hour of free time every day and better health. Dude, I've been a full-time, 50 hours a week, Lyft driver for over 2 years, and I just got a WFH with great starting everything, and I couldn't be happier. I still gotta drive for a couple weeks, but I'm done with the road. Bachelor degree at 47 years old. Master degree at 50 years old. Doubled my salary in 4 years, from just getting by to on track for retiring at 60. Exercise every day. Anxiety and depression are much easier to manage, and I got some confidence I haven't had in years. When I was told that I would lose my eyesight, it made me pay more attention to how beautiful the sky was. I can still see, and I enjoy watching the clouds on a level one can't even explain. Edit. Thanks to everyone for the love, you all have made me very happy. I started flower gardening. Really relaxing. You will see results all summer. Lots of successes and failures, but failures bring improvements. And I listen to Audible books while I'm at it sometimes. Especially great if you have a desk job. Edit. It's so nice to know so many are enjoying gardening. I had no idea it would be a Reddit thing. I've been growing produce on my apartment balcony for the past couple years, and it's been a fun learning experience. Plus, eating food picked a whole 15 feet away from your kitchen is kinda cool too. Cheeky smiley face. This year is my first year attempting some tomatoes. Wish me luck. Quitting drinking is the best thing I've ever done for my mental and physical health, and it's done nothing but improve my relationships. The last year and a half have been the best I've ever had. Finally talking with my then new family doctor about my misuse of decongestant nose spray. He told me it's a common issue and that there is help. 1.5 years of tapering off and 2 surgeries later, I used bad nose spray for the final time. I could kick myself for not talking about it for more than 20 years. Edit. I am working my way through the comments and questions. I posted it before going to bed and didn't expect much reaction, so. The addiction's name is rhinitis medicamentosa. So it's not an addiction like alcohol, in the way there's a reward system in your brain, but it's a self-sustaining process. You have an infection and take nose spray. If you do it more than a few days, the reason why you took it at first is gone, but these sprays mean the nose clogs again. So you take nose spray against nose spray, which got worse and worse over the years. Many asked which spray I took. I largely gave up talking about any names in this regard. By definition of stereotype, every Redditor except me is from the US, so your stuff has different names in the store than the German stuff I took. The nose spray I used is sold in Germany as Nasic, which has xylometazoline as main active agent. Some others asked about the surgeries, so here is more about the process. My new family doctor sent me to an ENT for help. He mentioned that next to the effect of the addiction, there's often a background to it. Turned out my concha were enlarged and my septum deviated. I must have broken my nose once. The ENT insisted OT must have happened, although I didn't know it. Maybe when I fell off my bike as toddler or so. Both limited how much air could pass and made it even more prone to clogging, which was boosted by the misuse of Nasic. The concha were cauterized, so a small intervention, about 30 minutes plus a few days sick leave. The septum deviation was corrected via full anesthesia surgery in the hospital by the ENT plus 2 weeks leave. The process took so long as the ENT started with tapering off by flooding the nose spray with hay fever and sea salt ones, effect, reducing bad nose spray from 5x a day to 1 to 2x, then cauterizing, after which the nose needed to heal, reducing it to 0 to 1 by per day before the surgery. As the septum deviation is done in hospital, I needed to wait a few weeks until I could do it, and afterwards the nose needs some weeks to heal again. You have a stuffy nose, you spray it up there, it is unstuffed. You do this a few times. By this point, the initial cause of the stuffy nose, allergies, cold, whatever, is gone, but the withdrawal from the spray is now causing the same problems, so you have to use it more, which makes it worse, so you use it more, etc. You can just stop using it and suffer for a bit, and then things will often go back to normal, or you can get a steroid-based spray from a doctor which will help relieve the symptoms without causing the same addiction problem. To be clear, it's not addictive like heroin is in terms of brain chemistry, it just causes a problem which it also solves, which results in more frequent use. Daily exercise. It doubled my energy for an hour out of my day. And that's just the benefit you get now. You have no idea the dividends you'll collect on that as you age. The key to aging gracefully is in staying active. I have worked with seniors for years in the capacity of wellness exercise, and you can absolutely pick the ones who are and have been consistently active out of the crowd. Not just in exercise form but in all facets. Absolutely. A few YRS ago I had a client in their mid-70s who basically never exercised, and they were pretty much confined to a wheelchair and had a diminished quality of life. This past year I worked with a couple who were both 81 years old and made a commitment to staying active most days of the week, doing resistance training, mobility work and balance exercise for many, many years. They still were going on hiking trips and cross-country skiing adventures while I was working with them. In conclusion, as a past martial arts instructor told us, the best way to stay in shape is to never get out of shape. Doing at least one chore a day. You would be amazed at how well getting something done, even if you hate it, can fight back against certain depressive mentalities, particularly the ones that convince you you're useless or are a burden. This is great advice. For me, a triple 30 feet worked wonders. Every day spend 30 minutes cleaning, chores, 30 minutes exercise, and 30 minutes of self-improvement, which could be anything, e.g. practicing guitar. Get home from work. Knock off the triple 30 in 1.5 hours, and oh man, the sloth after that feels so good and so earned. And what's 1.5 hours? Nothing. Highly recommend it. Edit. Not only does it annihilate your housework, its biggest effect on me was kicking the ass of my depression and anxiety. It's not gone, but so much more manageable. Edit 2. Thank you for the awards. I am absolutely delighted that this resonated with people. It made such a difference for me. Moved away from the state I grew up in. I didn't know how unhappy I was. I had gotten used to being miserable, and now that I'm in a better area I'm a completely different person. I did this but moved halfway around the world. It's amazing how much background stress is gone when I finally accepted that I was just not meant to be where I was. I miss my family, but we stay in regular contact and I have a lovely found family here. Sometimes just up and getting out of a place that isn't for you is the best course of action. I did this but moved halfway around the world. It's amazing how much background stress is gone when I finally accepted that I was just not meant to be where I was. I miss my family, but we stay in regular contact and I have a lovely found family here. Sometimes just up and getting out of a place that isn't for you is the best course of action. Same for me. You always hear people telling you that it's you and not where you live, that you'll be unhappy anywhere if you're unhappy there. Nah, sometimes it is the place you live. Stopped arguing with random strangers on internet. Sometimes I'll type out a comment for the catharsis and then just delete it and go on my way. I did fencing in college and after that I just couldn't make it work with my school and work schedule. 15 years later, I found a club and started doing it again. I hate every other sport and exercising just to exercise is unpleasant and boring. This is the only one for me and I needed something to make me active. I started viewing things as potential experiences rather than just opportunities for achievement. Before that, for example, if I took a class then I was only focused on the grade. If I couldn't get a good grade, I didn't like the class. Heck, I wouldn't even start a book if I thought it might be too hard or too long and I might not finish it. Then I realized the purpose of classes and books and other things was to learn and that hard ones were likely the ones I learned the most from, even if I didn't get the best grade. I started doing all sorts of stuff with the idea that I just wanted the experience. Even if I was the worst one out there, who cares? I wasn't there for the achievement, I wanted to learn things. This works socially as well and I started taking way more risks, telling myself that, at the very least, it would be a learning experience. I saw a saying once, "It's only a failure if you stop trying, otherwise, it's an experiment." I love it. A good quote goes something along the lines of, "To be good at something you have to be brave enough to suck at it for a while." Not sure if that's something someone famous says, but it's what I tell young people. Even old people. The great philosopher, Jake the Dog, once said, "Sucking at something is the first step to being kinda good at something." Say happy cake day. I begrudgingly started lifting weights when I was 30 due to some back pain that caused me to barely be able to get out of my office chair. I forced myself to go for a few weeks, then I started looking forward to going to the gym, then after a while I became a total gym rat meathead. I wish I had started lifting when I was a teenager. Not only did it cure my back pain but I lost weight, look and feel much better and the doctor says all my health indicators are spot on now as I am in my 40s and in addition it's like a hobby for me now that I tinker with and socialize with other people who are into the same thing etc. Eating more healthily. Edited. Getting a lot of questions about how I did it. Here's some suggestions with the reminder that this works for me, may not work for you. If you really are serious about losing weight, consult a doctor and/or nutritionist. 1. I was a carb fiend. Pasta, rice, bread, if it had a carb, I wanted 4 servings of it. Sugar is a carb too. So I started watching how many carbs I consumed a day. It shocked me. So now I'm a lot more aware of how many carbs I eat. 2. Building on number 1, serving sizes. To me, an open container of any size was a single serving. I pay attention to how much I'm supposed to eat. For snacks, I'm addicted to smart food. You can order a bunch of them in single serving sizes. 3. Vegetables. I always ate veggies, now I eat more. What used to be 2/3 potatoes or pasta or rice with a meal is now 2/3 vegetables. 4. Cut back on meat. We usually go meatless for dinner at least twice a week. I hardly eat it at breakfast and lunch is about 50-50. I'd say 90% of the meat we do eat is chicken or fish. 5. I have always loved to cook but now I'm really stretching my wings and trying things I wouldn't do before. If you don't know how to cook, learn. Alton Brown or Ina Garten are great starting places. Don't be intimidated by it, you're not working for Gordon Ramsay, you're just feeding yourself. Learn spices. Steaming veggies sucks. Roast that shit. Stir fry that shit. Eat it raw. Anything but steaming. Except boiling. That's worse. 6. Bring your lunch to work. If you eat breakfast at work, bring that too. Same with snacks unless you can get healthy ones there. 7. Don't beat yourself up if you have a cheeseburger. You are going to fail. I fail all the time. Every day is a new start. 8. We only eat out or order out once a week. 9. Water. More than you think. Learn to love to pee. 10. I can't do this right now because I broke my foot, but a walk after every meal helps with your blood sugar. 10 minutes after breakfast and lunch, a half hour after dinner. 11. All things in moderation. You can have butter or cheese or fried foods, just not every meal. And keep to what you're supposed to eat. It's a lot smaller than you think. Anyway, that's some of the stuff that personally did. It worked for me, it may not work for you. I'm not a dietitian, just a dude who wanted to lose some weight.